All right, congratulations. We are live. All right, cool. So, wow, I am backlit, aren't I? I don't know. I don't know if I can fix that. Sorry, I didn't realize I was quite that backlit. Hello, everybody. So the weather is has been more tolerable lately, so I thought we'd take it outside. I mainly just didn't feel like being inside. So hi everybody. Hello Andrew and Comic Tropes. Nice to see you. Hello. I better put on my glasses. Hello Stonegate Creations. And hello. Hey JLS Comics and Cyclonus. So you may get some background noise. The cicadas are being annoying. Hello MCDJ ACDC. Hello Raw Vegas. I also didn't account for the fact that it's getting dark earlier, so it may be dark before we finish. Hey, it's Byron. Nice to see you, Byron. And Christian Brooks and Ben. Hello. And G.I. Joe Bro and Agent Chuckles. How do you do? It's nice to see you, Byron. Haven't seen you in here for a while. I'm really happy you were able to make it. I hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling better. Hey there, Cobra Island. So we are enjoying a cigar. I almost poked the hot end with my finger. That would have been bad. Hello, Thane Woods and Lone Star Viper. Yes, Baccarat. Yeah, that is correct, Josiah. How you do? How do you do? Hello, Matt Rubin. It is a good day. It is a good day. Hi, Sparkster. Yes, enjoying the time in the sunshine. Yes, a giant. Yes. There's actually stuff to talk about today. So we'll do that. But yeah, I just wanted I wanted a change of settings. I'm a little bit tired today. I did not feel like setting up my camera and microphone set that I usually do. And this just seemed like a more pleasant way to spend the evening. So hopefully the audio comes through. That's the one thing I always worry about, is that there's so much ambient noise out here that the audio may be a little more difficult. Ever lose any of your Joes as a kid? Thank you, Comic Tropes, for the super chat. I lost a ton of them. Yes. Oh, hello, Big Gay Dave. Nice to see you. Hello, Nyquist. Oh, hello, Lester. Almost didn't see you there. Yeah, I lost a ton of them. We would often take our toys over to friends' houses, and we'd always play with them outside, and inevitably something wouldn't make it back in. Like my original Duke figure, I still don't know what happened to it. It may have been broken, or it may have just been lost. But all I know is, after a while, Duke was gone, and I had to replace him with a Tiger Force Duke. Oh, Cobra Island has a Nano Viper video. That's awesome. Speaking of videos that are up, I have to say congratulations on the 10th anniversary of Half the Battle. Congratulations on to Timmer for 10 years of videos. That's fantastic. Timmer's 10th anniversary review went up today, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. If you'd like to check it out now, I'll pause. I'll let you go do it. You can come back. Nothing will happen, don't worry. But congratulations, Timmer. 10 years. That's great. I really like his show. Plus, I like Timmer as a person. He's been a great friend to me. He's worked with me many times, and it's been a great working relationship. But he's also been a really good guy behind the scenes. So check out Timmer's 10th anniversary review. It is a review. It's a special review. So check it out. Hello, Jenna. Nice to see you, Jenna. So yeah, I'm in the great outdoors. It's technically outdoors. Well, technically, there is a roof over my head. There's like a little thing there. So, but I can see the sky. Greedo buried in the sand. Now I did lose, specifically, I did lose some Star Wars figures in the sand. It's a really boring story about that. Oh, thank you, thank you. I got my ears lowered. Yeah, when I was, I guess, had to be about 7 or 8 years old, the family took a summer trip to Canada. I can't remember exactly where, but I was really young, so I didn't know the geography that well. But we went to Canada, and we went to what was a ski resort, but it was in the summer, so there wasn't snow, and they were building like a sandy beach for like a swimming area. So there's a bunch of sand out there. So of course we took Star Wars figures out there to play, Tatooine, and that's where I lost my Boba Fett figure. My Boba Fett figure got buried in the sand in Canada and lost forever. So that's my one story of a figure getting lost in the sand. And that's the main thing I remember from that trip. I was pretty young at the time, though. But I can legitimately say that I've been to Canada. That's a true statement. But I also remember it was like, yeah, the Sarlacc got him. Like I believe that G.I. Joe was out at the time, so I think we were getting into G.I. Joe, but Transformers was still really big at the time too, so we still occasionally got some Star Wars stories. Did I say Transformers? I meant Star Wars. Used to chuck figs in traffic for battle damage. That would indeed cause battle damage. That's awesome. Hello, Jumpin' General. How do you do? Hello, Duruti. How do you do? So one downside of doing the live stream this way is that I can't put the live chat on the screen, so you can see it, on your screen as you go. But I can see it on my screen. Yes, news. First and foremost, congratulations to Timmer for 10 years of Half the Battle. That dude has been doing G.I. Joe reviews longer than I have, and he will probably still be doing it after I'm done. After all, my project has a limit, right? It has a finite set of things to review. But Timmer's can go on as long as he wants. So Timmer will probably still be doing G.I. Joe reviews long after I'm done. So congratulations, Timmer. I really like the show, and like I said, I like Timmer as a person. He's a good guy. All of my interactions with him have been positive. And if you like to support good guys on the internet, he's a good one to check out. Hello, Tony Jackson. Nice to see you there. Joe Zip Lines. Let's see, Tomax and Zaymot came with that zip line, but there was also the rope walker. Anybody remember like the action pack rope walker? I believe I have it now, but I didn't have it at the time it came out. And I've never actually tried to see if it works. I'm very curious though. It's not exactly a zip line, but it's, it's sort of the same idea. Yes, the charity drive, that's a big thing that that Timmer does every year, and I will be participating in that as it comes around. Chris said he had the rope walker, and Rob says the rope walker works. That is cool. That is cool. I gotta try mine. I gotta dig it out though. It's in a storage container in a closet somewhere. That is a challenge, having less storage space, is that stuff gets put in places because it has to fit somewhere, and it's not always convenient to find again when I need it. But also, I have to dig it out and try out the rope walker myself. It's a unique idea for a vehicle. Chris says, do you like the new O-ring figures from Hasbro Pulse? Well, I only have a couple of them, and I did like the ones that I had. I would like to get my hands on the Duke and Cobra Commander, but I have not been able to do that yet. Just lots of things going on right now. I haven't been able to do a lot of collecting lately, but I'd like to check them out. I'm very curious about about how they reconstructed those figures. So I did like the Cobra Soldier and the Cobra Officer that they did. And when I say I like them, the vintage figures are better. Let's be clear about that. The vintage figures were better, but they're nice reproductions. A little bit modernized, but still using what appears to be the same molds. So yeah, they're right. They're all right, and I definitely like them better than the retro figures that were based on the 20th anniversary series or the 30th anniversary, the modern series. Yeah, Tony. Oh, that's another point of news. Thank you. Not about Kevin. First of all, let's take a moment to observe our lack of Form BX257. We haven't heard from Form BX257 in quite some time. Still haven't heard back from him. I hope he's well. He also is a really good guy, and I like him very much. And I hope for only the best for him, but I really don't know. I haven't heard anything from Kevin. But that brings up somebody else that nobody has heard anything from lately. Has anybody had any contact with Mark Bellomo? The guy who did the Ultimate Guides to G.I. Joe, the big reference books? Because Larry Hama was asking if anybody had heard from him because he hasn't been answering emails. And he has Larry's toys. Larry gave him his G.I. Joe toys signed on like a consignment basis, and then nobody's heard from him in a long time. So, and I did have him as a friend on Facebook, so I checked, and he's still there, but he hasn't posted anything in about a year. So that's another person, along with our Kevin. Mark Bellomo, I hope you're all right. I hope you're doing well. Somebody would like to hear from you. The Figure Six Pack, yeah, I believe he does, at least did have a job, a teaching job. I'm not sure exactly which university it was, but I believe that was his day gig, his main job. But as far as the toy stuff, yeah, nobody's heard from him, and that's a little odd because he used to post updates. He had projects that he was working on. That he had come out with the Star Wars reference books, and I think he was working on like a website that had a bunch of reference material on it, and that was going to be a big project, but. Yeah, he has kind of went AWOL, and to my knowledge, nobody's heard from him in any format. Hello, Draws. Who did I miss come in? I guess I get to start talking, and I don't see who comes in. Hello, Jeff Jones. Nice to see you. And Tony, somebody's hoping that Tony Jackson feels better soon. I hope you feel better soon, too. I'm sorry I didn't see that Tony Jackson needed a feel better soon, but also feel better soon from me as well. Hello, David Sharp. Nice to see you. Yeah, Byron had a little bit of a tough time, but I'm glad things are going well for you. Yeah, good, Tony, and I hope you are 100% very soon. Hello, Dave. Dave F34. So we got lots of Daves here. We usually have lots of Chris's and Matt's. So we're going to have a few Daves with Chris's and Matt's. So any of you that are not named Chris, Matt, or Dave, you got to pick one. You know, pick whether your name is going to be Chris, Matt, or Dave. We like to simplify things in here. So now everybody's Chris, Matt, or Dave. Hello, Teddy. How do you do? Somebody check on Big Ben since the Queen died. Yeah, that is first of all, since the royal family is obviously watching, since they check in every week. My condolences to the family, of course. There we go. One ironic thing is that like most of my British friends are anti-monarchy, so I'm on my British friends posts. I'm not seeing a whole lot of mourning, but nonetheless, a person has passed away, and you know, rest in peace, or whatever sentiment that you have, because no matter how silly the idea of having a queen might be to us, as Americans, we must always be gracious. Yeah, we got a King Charles now. How about that? We have a king of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and Wales for the first time in our lifetime. Hello, Renegade Biker. How do you do? King Chucks. Big Gate says half my family is Irish and they've been vocal. I'll bet. I'll bet. Thank you, Timothy, for recognizing the Naked Gun reference. I appreciate it. Yeah, they're going to have to change all the coins. That's going to be a hard task because you got, like, there are coins everywhere. They're going to have to check everybody's sofas, collect all those coins, and then stamp a new face on them. It seems like a waste to me, but it's not my tradition, so what I got to say about it? Jumpin' General says, when will I be able to display my complete collection? That's a good question. I have no idea. I would need a much bigger space. It's been actually a long time since I've been able to display the entire collection. Even when I was in the bigger space, the collection had exceeded the amount of display space that I could put together, even dedicating a whole room to it. So I've just accepted the fact that while I can display a few pieces, at least for the time being, a lot of stuff has just got to live in boxes, and I don't like that. It's not only is it inconvenient, I didn't purchase this stuff and collect this stuff just to put it in a box. I wanted to see it and interact with it and show it off and stuff, and I just don't have the space for that. So yeah, but we'll see how things go in the future. Hopefully things are looking up. I've been working really hard to get things moving in a better direction. It's been a little bit exhausting, which is one of the reasons why I'm tired this evening, but it's not a bad thing. It's not, I'm tired, but not in a bad way. It's still a challenge to do video stuff. That's, I mean, obviously that is. You had to have noticed that production has kind of ground to a halt. And I will work on that. But it's just, at least for now, we're in a phase where we are doing a lot of work, a lot of necessary work, and when we are not working, we are pretty darn tired. But again, we're in a transition phase and things will change over time. And as an old person, I've learned to, you know, let these things evolve. Things will change, you know. sometimes just got to let the process play out. And that's what I'm doing right now, is letting the process play out so that we can hopefully get back to a more regular routine. Another thing, comic books. The G.I. Joe comic book, published by IDW. Larry put out a statement, and I apologize, but it would actually, I don't think I can, Chris sent it to me on my phone, but I'm using my phone to do this. But the gist of it was that Larry was saying that the IDW run has gone on for almost as long as the Marvel run did, and that he's been writing these characters that have become his friends for 40 years now, and it feels like it's coming to an end. But he also said, maybe it's not going to be forever. The pit may not be in mothball for long. It kind of hints at the probability that another publisher will pick it up, well, we think that another publisher will pick it up. I think that's the rumor that's out there, but we think that maybe he will be involved in it in some way, that he will continue writing it. We will see. I just like Larry, and so I want him to be able to do what he wants to do. So however that ends up for G.I. Joe, I think at this point for me is less important than Larry doing what he wants to do, because I feel like he's earned that. And if Larry is ready to hang it up, if he's ready to retire from, at least from that series, then that's great. But if he'd like to keep it going, I hope that he has a chance to keep it going. I'm sorry, there's a mosquito swarming in front of the lens there. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's only Tuesday, but it's been quite a week. Is there any other G.I. Joe news that I've missed? I should do this. This should be a new feature, news commentary. You tell me what the news is, and I'll comment on it, because I have not been able to keep up with the news very well. The main thing that I wanted to do is what I did at the top of the show, is make sure that I mentioned Timmer, because I'm very happy for him for persevering with this show for this long. That's an accomplishment. That's an achievement. That is an achievement that I have not reached yet. So I've got my Tulsa punk rock flea market t-shirt. I've got my Eskimo Joe's Stillwater cup. I'm rocking the local flavor here a little bit. I took my kid to the punk rock flea market a couple weekends ago. That was interesting. They had like t-shirts and music stuff and art and oddities and things like that. But I'm like, and they had some bands, they had some live music, but I was thinking, like, is it really a punk rock show if you're not stealing this stuff? Shouldn't you just be like shoplifting or something? Wouldn't that make it more punk rock? I mean, I wasn't directly in the punk scene in my younger days, but I knew some of them, because like still hung around in some of the same circles, and those dudes would they'd steal anything that wasn't nailed down, or they'd smash it. I just find it funny that instead of stealing stuff, they walk up to a vendor and say, "Can you take my Discover card, please?" Punk rock. I hope everything's going all right for everybody. I am actually not seeing any live chat, and I don't know if that is a problem with my live feed or not, or if you're just not typing anything, which is also fine. Let's see if I can refresh this. No, I can't. I can't do that. I can't refresh it. What does this do? There we go. Oh, hey, I changed a setting and it worked. Hello, everybody. Who did I miss? Hello, Yojo. Hello, Texas from the United States. Hello, Man of Action. PVC Diorama. That's cool. Renegade Biker. And Primal Savage. Hello, hello. Hey, Vagon and Dale and JLS and Chew and Bubblegum. I'm sorry, I missed all these messages. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't displaying on my screen. Come on, technology. Hello, Mark Ryan. How do you do? Chew and Bubblegum says, can you email Emily and tell them to stop trying to make Joe fans buy Transformers to get essential O-ring figures? That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. Because, let's see, the O-ring Baroness came with the Transformer Hiss Tank, and the O-ring Stalker came with the Transformer All-Striker. They did come on cards, though, so I think everybody's assuming that at some point they will be released separately. If they are not released separately, then we kind of got a problem. Then that's not super cool. I'd like to see that play out a little bit more to see if they do finally get those out, because they carded them as if they will be either on pegs or released individually. They are carded that way. So like they literally have to do nothing else, no additional packaging to release them individually. So I'd like to see that. If we don't see that, then that kind of sucks. Then we do have a little bit of a problem, because I'm not like, I don't dislike the Transformers, but I'm not a Transformers collector. And I would like to be able to get the new O-ring figures, but I am not going to buy a Megatron Hiss Tank to get the O-ring Baroness. Some people will do that, certainly. I am not one of those people. Let's see. Let's see. Cobra Island has Viper Month, and yes, Timmer had a great video. I was happy to be in the Timmer's video. Teddy says, "Where's Faceplate Cobra Commander?" I actually did have a guest. The only guest host I've ever had on the show, who actually took over the show for an episode, was a very good friend of mine from Canada, no less, who was the face-plated Cobra Commander. That was the review of the Buzzbore. That's the only time I've ever done that, and that's like one of the rare people that I would trust to do that. Yeah, so but that friend has still been around. You know, I still talk to him from time to time. I agree, Primal Savage. It's like, whether you, I mean, Larry may go in a direct. Oh, hello, Cujo. Nice to see you, Cujo. Thanks for being here. Hello, Garcia. Whether the story goes in a direction you want it to go or not, you know, everybody has their personal preferences. But Larry has been writing the series for 40 years. It's hard to top that. It would be hard to say that anybody knows the characters better than he does. I mean, he has been living with them for decades. So I do think that other writers can do good stories, but it's always going to be compared to Larry. Oh, okay. Another piece of news that I just remembered. Assembly required Des Moines, Iowa in November. It's a convention. It's a smaller show than Joe Fest if you're used to Joe Fest, but um, Ron Wagner, Ron Wagner will be there. I met Ron Wagner last time I went to Assembly Required. I got a commission. He's a really cool guy. Thank you, Rob Vegas, for the super chat. Says Rob Vegas, Aussie YouTube show looking at the knockoff brand The Core this month. Yes. And give a shout out to Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that's a very good point. Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughter. See, this is why I depend on you guys. This is the news commentary. I should have titled this episode "The News Commentary" because I'm commentarying on the news. Okay, Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse is a channel that covers GI Joe, but also covers wrestling. And he's a big Sergeant Slaughter fan. He's had Sergeant Slaughter on the show along with Kelly Remus, Sergeant Slaughter's daughter. He's in Australia. Hello, Matthew. How do you do? He's in Australia, and he has started a GoFundMe to take the trip to the United States for Joe Fest next year. I would love to meet the guy in person, so check out Sergeant Slaughter's Slaughterhouse for the link to that. And yeah, I would love it if he could make it. I have already donated to his travel fund. So especially if you have any idea that you might be at Joe Fest next year, you can help somebody come from Australia to make it. Remember the final JoeCon, the GI Joe guys came from South Africa, and Cujo was there too. Cujo, who we saw in the live chat a moment ago. Hello again, Cujo. So that was really cool. That's one of the great things about these conventions is you get to really meet some of the people in the community that you talk to, on the internets here. Rob says, never know who else might pop up at Joe Fest. Well, maybe you know something. Maybe you know something that the rest of us don't know, huh? But yeah, so Assembly Required in Des Moines, Iowa. It's a nice show. It is, or at least it was, a little smaller, but there was still a lot of a lot of our friends were still there last time I went, and so that's a lot of fun. It's a great interaction. It's a great way to meet and hang out with people. And my intention is to go again this year. I have not yet booked my hotel, but I'm going to work on that. Yes, Assembly Required, and Ron Wagner, who is a heck of a nice guy and still a really good artist, and still my favorite Joe artist. Man of Action says, where's the location for the show? It is in Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines, Iowa, and I wish I remember the dates right off the top of my head. It's in November, and the venue, they got a new one. But if you look for Assembly Required, you should find it and get the details. I'll try to remember to jot down the details before doing the live show. See, show prep is what I need to do. Show prep. Man of Action says, my Ma lives there. So Ma of Action lives near Des Moines. That's really cool. Hello, Coffee and Shame. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Half an hour from there. See, that's convenient. She might go to the show. New England Joe show in October 16th. Now, I would love to go to the New England Joe show, especially one in October, because it's during the football season. That would be an excellent excuse to do a two-purpose trip to New England, to go to the show and to go to a game at Foxborough. would enjoy that very much. But my travel is going to be a little bit limited for the rest of the year. I actually did a lot of travel, this summer. I did a lot of travel this year, more than usual, and it's been great. I actually really love to travel. I love it, but but I maybe traveled out for the year. Other than assembly required, I really will try to make it to Des Moines. And let's see, Byron says he's going to make it the SoCal Joe show. That also would be a really good one. Combat those mosquitoes. Get a bat house. That way you don't have to get pesticides or a bug zapper. Yes, all I need is bats. Also, that might inspire me to put on a costume and fight crime. It is really loud on my end. I hope you can hear me, but the cicadas are being very annoying right now. Draw says, I'd love to get back to taking road trips again, miss traveling and seeing cool things. Yeah, exactly, and that's why I did it. I mean, my kid and I took a partial Route 66 trip during the summer, just to get out, to go see things and do things, and it was nice. It was nice. Coffee and Shame says we're getting the Vipers and O-rings. We may be, but I don't know because I've been a little behind on the news. Call an ace or an airstrike on the cicadas. Yeah, it's the weather is more comfortable this time of the year. That's why I'm out here right now. But I never account for all the other stuff that goes on. This is why I don't like shooting videos outside. There's too much you can't control. Too many things, too much chaos. What was somebody asking if the new O-rings have screws? Yes, they do. If that was the question, I missed it. But if that was the question, yeah, the new O-ring figures do have screws in the back. In fact, I opened the Cobra Officer, Cobra Viper on the 12-hour July 4th live stream. So, Joe, just go back and watch those 12 hours to see that. But I did unscrew them, at least one of them. I unscrewed the screw in the back, so you can still do that. You can still do that. Al Cicada, yeah. We're making cicada jokes. They deserve that. You can ridicule the cicadas all you want. Frankly, I support that. I think they deserve it. For all the mean things they've done to me. Have you ever like seen them, other than hearing them like up in the trees? But have you ever actually seen them flying around, or seen like one that has dive bombed a window and collided with it and is dead on the floor? They're quite disgusting creatures. Hey, it's Peg Warmers. How do you two Peg Warmers? Connection is really bad tonight, but I wanted to pop in. Well, thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you, Peg Warmers. That's another show you should not forget to check out. Peg Warmers has a really nice show, and a show where a lot of our friends have been on it. A lot of our friends have been on the show. So check out Peg Warmers, and thanks to Peg Warmers for doing things like being a part of Cobra Convergence. That's very nice. Very nice. And Kevin, another really nice guy. Yeah, nuke them from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. When we were kids, the cicadas will shed a shell, right? And the shells will be stuck on trees, and we used to play with those as kids. It's just like a little insect shell without the insect. So we'd play like their aliens and stuff, like attacking the action figures. Um, yeah. Cobra Island says Cobra la 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 la. It's not Christmas yet. Um, that's right. You can count me out. Cicada da 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 da. See, Tony's got the idea. Um, yeah. I kind of hate them. I kind of hate them. I should have put that. I should have put that as the title of this video. Um, Game over, man. Hello, Dr. No Good. Nice to see you there. Let's see. Pegwarmer says in high school, I was really proud of a photo I took of a cicada shell stuck in a tree branch. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Because like close up, they look like alien creatures. They're kind of freaky. But that's why, like, they would make like the perfect like evil alien monster attacking your action figures. Yeah, great giant bugs to fight against in the sandbox. Yeah, exactly. Need to introduce drop bears to the USA to eliminate the cicadas. Yeah, bring them on. But it can't be worse than this. Actually, like in my old neighborhood, not the house that I lived in before I moved here, but the one before that, there was we had possums and we had skunks. And I remember very clearly one early evening going around to the side of my house and coming face to face with a skunk. A skunk that was just, trotting along. I got out of there pretty fast. I don't know if you've ever smelled a skunk. It's not pleasant. That's worse than cicadas. Van Hal, Mobat, Jump, Flak, and Ram. That, wait, I think Man of Action is playing Jeopardy, and I'm going to say, what are vehicles from 1982? What are vehicles from 1982? That's my question to the answer that he provided. Byron says my uncle had a pet skunk. I hope that like they like took the stink out of it. They're not pleasant, and they're nocturnal, which means they try to cross roads at night and then they get run over, and then they stink up an entire area of the interstate. They're quite unpleasant. Yes, that's right. He-Man had a skunk character. I believe that was Stinkor. And the action figure gimmick is that it really did stink. A clever idea. Clever idea. Really, Sparkster. That's very interesting. I think I would at least stay a few steps back from him. Stinkor, he really stank. Yeah, see? Skunk vipers. Yeah, you tuned in for the G.I. Joe, but what you didn't know is that you would be getting a conversation about the local wildlife. Yo, Joe. Is there anything else that I forgot to mention? The IDW series, everybody does know that that's coming to an end. That they are doing a cover for issue number 300 that has like 300 characters on it, which is pretty amazing and would have taken a very long time to draw. But what I was thinking was 300 characters, you could get more than that. All you have to do is include, for instance, regular grunt and tan grunt. Include regular clutch and tan clutch. Include all of the Snake Eyes uniforms. You know, just here's a great way to get more than 300 characters. You include Zartan and Zartan in all of his disguises. You have Zartan and you have Zartan disguised as all of the other characters. You automatically double the number of characters that you can have on your cover. You know, you're welcome, IDW. You can steal this idea. I don't mind. Anyway, I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in. Hello, Eric. Hello, if I didn't say hello to you earlier. Hello, Photo Viper. Nice to see you there. Stinkor smells like patchouli. Yeah, that's what they use to mix in the plastic to make the action figure stink. Who comes up with that? See, this is why I appreciate He-Man, even though it's about as different from G.I. Joe as you can possibly get. But it is wacky. It has just got some strange and bizarre ideas, and I have an appreciation for the strange and bizarre. I can appreciate the special kind of madness that it takes to come up with ideas like making an action figure really stink. Cheers to that guy. So thanks to everyone for joining me for this relaxing evening under the setting sun, and now the light from inside my place is brighter than the light from the outside. So I'm no longer backlit, but I'm all lit up from this side. So this is some real professional work here witnessing here. Hang on, make sure. Yeah, okay, see, all right. Hello, ABL Trejo, nice to see you. And hello, James, aka Ratface, how do you do? And David Sharp, and Raisener. So, okay, this thing is doing a thing, okay? Every once in a while, it will stop showing the live chat, and I have to refresh it. So I apologize if I miss out on some of the messages, but on my screen, it just like, it's going perfectly fine, and I don't touch anything, and yet it just stops working. Yes, I am in fact lit, in a manner of speaking. Just this side, though. Just this side is lit. Actually, Eric, I'm having some high quality H2O here. I haven't had alcohol in more than a year and a half. I can't remember exactly. This is why I can't give a definite time, because I can't remember exactly. Yes, we've got a Baccarat, Corey, that we're smoking. Yeah, I haven't had a drink for, it's got to be at least a year and a half. I think it was sometime 2 Januaries ago that I stopped drinking. So it's just high quality H2O for me for right now. Abiel says, what's your favorite G.I. Joe figure? Mine is Stalker. I usually go with version 1.5 because it has a swivel arm battle grip. It may not be the most detailed figure, but it has a lot of sentimental value for me. Uh, go. Let's see. Yes, I have tried a Churchill cigar. Let's see. Backrest go good with new Dream flavor Coke. That's interesting. I've not tried that. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll have to give that a try. And I'm trying to be healthier. You know, I don't drink alcohol anymore. This is not healthy. So I'm trying to not do this too much either. You know, you got to do things in moderation. But frankly, I survived a Tuesday, and I think that's a reason to celebrate. I am annoyed that I haven't been able to get to the regular reviews lately, because I really do want to review the thing that I have queued up. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I don't think it'll get a ton of views, but it'll still be a lot of fun, I think. Quitting drinking helps to afford more Joes. See, that's a very healthy attitude. Very healthy attitude. Joe-themed cigars. Yeah. G.I. Joe didn't have a cigar-chomping character like Nick Fury, did they? I mean, they had characters that, with tattoos and stuff like that, but they didn't promote smoking. That's interesting, because a lot of comic books did. Lots of cigar chomping. You got your J. Jonah Jameson. You got your Nick Fury. But yeah, I can't think of a G.I. Joe character that was a cigar chomper. Who said that? Tony says Firefly or Destro are favorite characters. Those are good. Yeah, Sergeant Rock. That's another good one. Yeah, Sergeant Rock. Joe Kubert. Cobra Island, haven't drank alcohol in almost 16 years. Good job. Well done. Hold on, does beer count as alcohol? For me, it does. That is something that I've thought about, because I used to really like beer, at least good beer. But I've got a good streak going here, you know? I've got a good streak of, like, having no alcohol at all for quite some time. Do I really want to break that streak? I don't know. I didn't G.I. Joe somewhat promote bars? Well, in a way, Shipwreck. In the animated series, the team picked up Shipwreck in a Cobra bar. You know, just the average place where a kid would hang out. Thank you, Thane. Yeah, I am trying to be a little bit more health conscious, at least in some ways. MCDJ ACDC says, I'll drink to you, keep that streak alive. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tony says Cobra drank Yojo Cola and bad guys drank grape soda. Yeah, they had Cobra Cola, they had Yojo Cola, and then they had the grape soda and chocolate covered donuts. And that, I'm pretty sure, was always supposed to be like a euphemism for adult beverages, but they didn't exactly include those in the comic. But they did have drugs. They did have drugs in the comics, because they had Drug Elimination Force. Remember, they had Drug Elimination Force for, I don't know, about 3 issues in the comic book in the 90s. Those were terrible issues. I'm sorry, Larry. I love you. I don't think Larry liked those issues. I think he was required to put them in. I don't think those were ever his favorite. But yes, they had DEF. So they didn't have beer in the comic book, but drugs, yes, absolutely. Breaker's bubble gum was a euphemism for cigarettes. That would also make sense. Yeah, I could see that as well. Yeah. In the early 1900s, smoking menthol cigarettes was supposed to help asthma and bronchitis. Yeah, see, I mean, there are commercials about, you know, which cigarettes doctors preferred. Who's that? Obnochicals, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but he says, who do you think Cobra Commander actually is? Cobra Commander is your mom, didn't she tell you? Seriously though, I like the idea of Cobra Commander, the identity of Cobra Commander being completely absorbed by the character, or by the persona. I don't think Cobra Commander as an individual it really exists anymore. I don't think he is. I don't think he really is a separate person. I think he is Cobra Commander. I think that's the only important thing that exists about his personality anymore. I'm only the hooded version. Hoodie for short. Overlord. The Overlord, I did a review on that. It's at least a somewhat interesting character in that Overlord is an attempt to make yet another challenger to the command of Cobra, but it was one that went absolutely nowhere. The used car salesman version. Well, consider this. Like, I've never been a fan of how they handled Cobra Commander in the movie, the 1987 movie, where he was a Cobra Law mutant. It's just not my thing. But I do kind of like the idea that Cobra Commander is Cobra Commander. He doesn't like have another identity. If he ever did, he's long abandoned that. He's just he is now his ambition to rule the world. That's all he really is anymore. Starscream in disguise. That would be hilarious. Like Starscream trying to like squeeze himself into this little human-sized uniform. The voice, though, the voice is what gives it away. Yeah, Coffee and Shame. The 87 animated movie had some different ideas, we'll say. Different ideas. Baron Ironclaw. That's a fairly obscure one, yeah. Well, hey, listen, guys, we've got about a minute and a half. I am going to wrap this up at 8 o'clock. No, wait. No, we don't. Hold on. I jumped the gun. No, we got about 7 minutes. I was looking at the wrong thing. So we got about 7 minutes. I will wrap this up at 8 o'clock my time. It's been a long day. I'm kind of tired, but it has been really nice. It's been really nice to hang out with you guys. This is my my favorite time of the week. I always feel better after hanging out and having this chat with you. Let's see. My fiance is from England and got a vintage Baron Ironblood figure. Yeah, Baron Ironblood. That is a good point. I should say, if you follow the Action Force continuity, then Baron Ironblood becomes Cobra Commander, which is actually kind of a cool story. I actually do like that. I like that a lot better than the Cobra Law origin. But yeah, that's a good one. That's thank you for pointing that out. I had momentarily forgotten it, but really the Action Force continuity is it's really not bad. I have read some of it. I do wish that it were more compatible with the U.S. GI Joe continuity, so that like they could coexist and like be like one big universe. But they actually do have totally different stories. Cobra Commander has a totally different origin. Destro has a totally different origin. It's just different, but it's still really good. It's still really interesting, and I think a lot of it is online now. If you want to go back and read the Action Force comics or the Battle Action Force comics, it's worth checking out if you haven't. It's a different take on GI Joe, and if you're from the States or Canada, you may be less familiar with it. So if you have a minute and you want to check out something different, check out Action Force and just see how they did that a little differently. Now, having said that, in the aforementioned IDW series, the Larry Hama IDW comic book series, he did include some Action Force elements. He did include some of the Red Shadows and those characters in the main G.I. Joe storyline. So some of that has been folded into the like the U.S. Continuity. So that's another thing that Larry has done, is that he's brought in some of the international variants into the main story. Yes, the Robo Skull. And speaking of which, there was everybody here probably already knows that there was the Robo Skull Kickstarter project. So at some point we should be getting a giant frickin' Robo Skull, which is awesome. But I really want to get a vintage Robo Skull. At Joe Fest 3 years ago. Holy crap, time flies. 3 years ago. Who was it? Roma Collectibles brought a bunch of vintage Robo Skulls to sell at the convention. I was there, but I had a table. I was at the table meeting and greeting people, and I didn't have a chance to go onto the dealer floor and check it out until all of the Robo Skulls, except for one incomplete one, was already gone. And I need a complete one in order to do a review of it. So I was kicking myself because I missed out on an opportunity to get a real, complete, vintage Robo Skull, even though I was there, I was in the building, but I really was incredibly busy. That was a great weekend, by the way. That's a great weekend. I loved that weekend. It was a lot of fun. But it was incredibly busy, and yeah, I just didn't have a chance. I just didn't have time to check it out. Yeah, Black Major is an interesting character, a character that switched from the good guys to the bad guys. Yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, absolutely do check out the Action Force storyline, the comic book, if you have a chance. It's an interesting read. It really is. It's just a different take on the G.I. Joe story that a lot of us would be familiar with, and you might like it. I like it, and like I said, I kind of wish that it was more compatible with the American storyline, because I'd like to see some of those stories like merge and included with our version of G.I. Joe, because I like him. I like him a lot. Robo Joe was half Robo Skull. That's true, Jeff. Okay, it is about time. This time I really mean it. So I'm gonna wrap it up here and say goodnight. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with me on this nice casual outdoor hangout. And we will do it again next week. Thank you all for your patience as I figure out how my whole life is going to work with recent changes. But we will get there. In the meantime, let's keep hanging out. Thank you, Draws. Thank you, and thank you for being here, Byron. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's really great seeing you. It's really great talking with you. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next week. So until then, keep yo-joing, Yojo, and only Yojo is Yojo. May the force be with you. See you, everybody. Good night. Night, everybody.